Welcome back to AI Signal and Noise. It is Friday, and we have some absolutely wild stories to get into today. Dude, the internet is changing so fast, and honestly, it is getting a bit weird out there.
Hey everyone! Yeah, today we are looking at how bots are taking over the web, why corporate AI isn't saving companies any money, and some really cool on device agent tech. Ready to dive in, Taylor?
So ready. First up, did you see what Cloudflare's CEO just said about the future of the internet? I saw this on the decoder and it completely blew my mind, dude.
Oh, Matthew Prince? Yeah, he says bot traffic is officially outpacing human traffic online now. That is crazy because it is happening years ahead of his original late 2027 forecast.
Exactly. He blames AI agents for this massive surge, and because of that, he says the future of the web is going to be pay to crawl, like no more free scraping for AI models.
Wait, pay to crawl? That is a massive shift. So, search engines and AI companies will have to pay websites just to index their content? How would that even work in practice?
Right. Right now, bots just scrape everything for free. But if they are hogging all the bandwidth and not bringing real human visitors to the site, why should publishers allow it anymore?
Honestly, I get his point. If 90% of my traffic is just LLMs training or agents fetching data, they are just draining my server resources without giving any actual value back.
Exactly. Why should creators pay for hosting just so some massive AI company can scrape their work and keep users on their own platform? It is totally unfair to the creators.
But wait, what about smaller creators? If only big players can afford to pay to crawl, do small sites just become completely invisible to AI search engines? That is a scary thought.
Dude, that is a really good point. If you cannot afford to get crawled or if you block bots, you might just disappear from the modern web entirely. It is wild to think about.
It feels like the open web is fracturing. We might end up with a web of toll booths where only the wealthiest AI companies can access the best data. Not great for the open internet.
It is wild to think about. But hey, speaking of AI agents running around, there is some crazy new open source tech that lets you run them completely locally on your own devices.
Ah, you mean OpenJarvis. I saw that research from Stanford. They released a framework that runs inference, agents, memory, and learning entirely on device. But is it actually good or just hype?
Dude, yes, it is so cool. They decomposed the system into five primitives: intelligence, engine, agents, tools and memory, and learning. And it is incredibly efficient, running entirely on your local hardware.
Okay, but local models are usually way less capable than giant cloud models like GPT-4, right? How does OpenJarvis actually compare to the big players we use every day?
Get this. It lands within 3.2 points of the best cloud models, and the marginal API cost is roughly 800 times lower. Like, that is an insane saving.
800 times cheaper? Wow, I guess that makes sense since you're not paying for constant cloud API calls. But what kind of hardware do you need to actually run this?
They designed it to run on personal devices. The whole goal is to let your phone or laptop learn your habits locally without sending your private data to some corporate cloud server.
Now that is a feature I can get behind. Having your personal memory and learning stay on device is huge for privacy. I do not want tech giants tracking my daily routine.
Exactly. Imagine an assistant that knows everything about you, but it is completely secure. It can use tools and learn on the fly. It is the dream, dude. Seriously.
It is definitely a step towards true personal assistance. But speaking of agents, it seems big corporations are trying to use them too, though with some pretty mixed results lately.
Oh man, are you talking about that Bain study? Dude, this one is so funny. Apparently, companies are missing their AI savings targets because humans keep getting in the way.
Yes, Bain surveyed almost 1,000 companies, and nearly 40% achieved less than 10% in AI cost savings, even though they targeted much higher numbers.
Right, they were aiming for 11 to 20% savings. So why is it failing? Are the models just not good enough yet, or is it a people problem?
Well, the study says only 7% of these companies actually run fully autonomous AI agents, but their business cases assumed they would run exactly that to save money.
Wait, so they bought the hype that AI would replace whole workflows, but in reality, they still have humans reviewing and double checking everything? That completely defeats the purpose.
Exactly. It is the human in the loop bottleneck. If a human has to review every single output, you're not actually saving that much time or money at the end of the day.
But honestly, can you blame them? If I were a manager, I would be terrified of letting an AI agent run completely wild with client-facing work. Imagine the potential lawsuits.
Oh, absolutely. The risk of hallucinations or bad decisions is too high right now. But it shows a huge gap between boardroom expectations and actual operational reality in these companies.
Totally. You cannot just sprinkle AI on a broken process and expect instant millions in savings. You have to redesign the whole workflow around the technology, dude.
Right, and until companies trust AI enough to let it run solo, those big cost savings are going to remain a fantasy for most businesses out there.
Definitely. But some platforms are starting to officially approve these agents for direct customer interaction. Apple just did something big here with their business messaging.
Oh, right. They approved Pokey as the first AI agent on their Messages for Business platform. I saw that on TechCrunch. That is actually a pretty big deal.
It is huge. Poke basically lets you use AI agents through simple text messages, and now it is officially integrated into Apple's ecosystem. No extra app needed at all.
So, how does it work? Is it just a glorified chatbot that gives canned answers? Or can it actually perform complex tasks for you directly in the chat?
It is a real agent, dude. You can text it to book flights, research products, or manage tasks. It uses tools in the background to actually get stuff done for you.
Okay, but Apple is notoriously strict about privacy and security, especially for business platforms. How did Poke manage to get approved by them?
That is why it is such a big deal. Apple's Messages for Business has super high standards, so Poke getting approved is a massive stamp of legitimacy for AI agents.
That is interesting. It means Apple is comfortable with how Pokey handles user data and transactions. That could open the floodgates for other agents to get approved too.
Exactly. And for users, it is just so convenient. You do not have to learn a new interface or download anything. You literally just text it like a friend.
I can see this being how most people actually interact with AI agents in the future. No complex prompting, just natural texting while you're on the go.
Yes! It brings the power of agents right to your default texting app. I bet we will see a ton of other startups trying to get approved now, dude.
Definitely. It is going to be a race to see who can build the most reliable conversational agent for everyday tasks. Let the games begin.
Totally. Well, that is all the time we have for today's episode. What a wild week for AI agents, local models, and the future of the web.
Yeah, things are moving fast. Make sure to subscribe so you do not miss our next update. Have a great weekend, everyone. We will be back on Monday.